Hello, and welcome to I Watched It With My Wife, documentary edition. We're covering episode 2 of the docuseries Q, Into the Storm, which you can see on HBO Max. So, in this second episode, it kind of looks at the creators of 8chan, the site that Q uses to post most of his stuff. And there's 3 of them in specific here: Frederick Brennan, Jim Watkins, and Jim's adopted son, Ron Watkins. So, Sarah, tell us what you think.
Oh my god. Jim and Ron are Q. Spoiler alert. They're definitely part of Q.
They might be within the organization.
I think that there's maybe 4 people tops who are Q. And I think Jim and Ron are Q. I think this poor Frederick Brennan guy created this, sold it to these guys because it wasn't really making him any money. He got a nice fat paycheck off of it. These guys treated him good for a little while, but Frederick kind of knew what was going on and was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of this. Shit's getting shady here. And he bailed out before he got hurt. Who also, I actually like Frederick a lot. I think he's pretty cool, but not as great as Florida Man.
Well, Florida Man does not appear in this episode because this one's
mostly
about 8chan. This is a more direct documentary style. It's less crazy than episode 1 was. It's less on the entertainment and more on the information side. It gives you the backstory of 8chan, how it started as an offshoot of 4chan and Reddit. How Fred sold it to Jim, and then they moved from the U.S. to the Philippines. How Fred ran it up until mid 2018, and then left 8chan and still did other things for Jim's company, though. And just how weird everything is. And then the bringing in Jim Watkins is not tech savvy, but his adopted son Ron from I believe from China is, and so he brought in Ron to oversee stuff. And
but you don't have to be tech savvy to make a post.
You don't have to be tech savvy to make a post, no, but you have to be tech savvy to run the site.
So his son is running the site, and he knows what's up, and Daddy's making all these crazy weird-ass posts. Probably started out as a joke. Ron was in the military.
Yes,
and they talked about that. And, I mean, I'm sorry, but if you have something on your site that you run that's like one of the things that brings the highest traffic to it, you would know about what that is. You would know what algorithms, what boards, what different groups are going to bring in the most money and the most information, the most traffic to your site. So that's why I think Jim Watkins knows a lot about Q, because the whole time he's like, I have no idea what this is. I don't know who Q is. I'm not political. Bullshit. The guy is wealthy AF, right?
Yes, he is.
He's wealthy AF. He doesn't live in the United States because he owns this not just 8chan and all these other things, but he has all these other foreign business interests, which tells me he probably knows a lot about U.S. politics if he's got all these foreign business interests and lives outside the country, even though he's an American citizen who was also in the military. And I believe he was high up in the military, wasn't he? Or does it lead on that he was kind of high up?
It doesn't tell you his rank specifically, but it does kind of hint that he was
up there, that he knew people.
That he was close to people who were high up, even if whether he was or not.
Which makes me think that's where the close connection to Trump comes in. And so I think it's Jim and Ron, and I think that Ron is just basically like, this is making us money. I'm just going to keep doing it. This is what my dad wants. And I think that between the two of them, they're coming up with things and they're doing it.
The vibe I get from Ron here with what he's given off is either 1, he's trying to project something else, or 2, if he is Q and doing what his dad wants, he's doing it just to troll people. I don't think he has any vested interest in American politics per se. I think he might get a high from the reactions that it causes, and how it drives people to his boards.
And especially with most of his companies being outside the U.S. right
Most
now.
of his companies are outside the U.S. And while, yes, his father is an American living in the Philippines, as we said, he's adopted originally from China. So I doubt that he is like excited about anything with American politics unless it's making him money. Which the weird thing is, they keep saying that 8chan does not make money.
Then why do they still have it?
Yeah,
That's my question.
yeah, that's
why,
a question I've had this entire time.
If this is your biggest flop, why are you holding it? Why so dear?
Especially since, I mean, it would make sense if Frederick had kept it because he started the entire thing.
Yeah.
It would have been his, even operating at a loss, it would have been his baby that he wanted to make work. I don't get why, after Jim bought it and it's supposedly operated at a loss this entire time, why he wouldn't have cut bait by now.
Exactly. And also, Jim has mentioned in this episode that Archie Bunker is a hero to him. There is nothing more QAnon than that. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, he was America's favorite bigot, so.
Ew, I never liked the guy. I thought he was kind of an asshole.
Yes, that's who is his whole character.
I know, I couldn't stand him.
You're supposed to laugh at how awful he is.
I didn't think he was funny. I thought he was just an asshole. And I didn't like the wife either.
But
I would have punched you.
We're not talking about All in the Family, though.
Okay, but if we are to, I'm just saying, if you were to talk to me the way he talked to her, I would have just punched you.
Stifle yourself, Edith.
Do you want to get hurt? But yeah, Archie Bunker is no.
Yes, we know Archie Bunker
He's no
was
hero.
never meant to be a
He's
hero.
Not. No.
He was meant to be a popular character who you hated how he acted, but laughed at it.
And so I don't understand, like, but people do look up to this guy. I know people who look up to this guy and are like, oh, remember the good old days where we could just say whatever we wanted and not give a crap if I hurt anybody else's feelings because I thought I was funny, even though I was a jerk and I made other people feel bad. I hate it when people say that. I'm sorry, it bothers me. It really, really bothers me.
Well, Carol O'Connor was the exact opposite of that in real life, so.
Was he actually a good person?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I only know the character. I don't know the man and what he was like as a.
Should have seen In the Heat of the Night.
I've never watched it.
I
don't even know what it is.
It's about a sheriff's department in Sparta, Mississippi. It is a movie, but he was on the TV show.
Ooh, it was both.
Yeah, he played the sheriff on the TV show.
Okay.
But that's beside the point.
Anyway, that's beside the point. So this Jim and Ron, they've got all kinds of weird hobbies and weird side interests. They do like yoga in their studio Jim has like 10 other businesses. He's got like an organic market and pretty much anything and everything that points to Q is Jim and Ron.
At least in Sarah's opinion. I don't know if I believe that they are Q, but I could certainly see them being Q. I could certainly see other people being Q as well. As the documentary maker pointed out, there's no way to prove who is or isn't Q. He couldn't even, through the documentary, he said he couldn't even prove that he wasn't Q.
Yes. And they went through some other things and they talked to some other people who were involved with like IP addresses and they traveled to South Africa and everything like that. Pretty much traveled the world, right, to find different people who may or may not be associated with Q. But Frederick Brennan, I actually kind of feel bad for him. Like, not just because of the standpoint of him having like that rare medical condition, but just going through like his life about how he got bullied, how he created this forum, and then he would see all these terrible things about people with disabilities being put up, and yeah, it's just kind of sad. And then he created some other forums as well. He created that wizard chat or whatever it is for the men who were angry with women because they were still virgins, which probably just not be a douchebag and who got laid, but that's besides the point. But no, I actually kind of like feel bad for Frederick and I like him. I just don't think he's Q, even though Q led on to let you think that Frederick may be Q by sending him the Q and all that other crap. And I just think, and because like Q kind of like left it alone, that's why I think it's John and Ron or Jim and Ron.
Yeah. As it keeps going on, I mean, this is only episode 2 that we're covering here. It's a 6-episode series, and by the time it's done, we're probably not going to know for a fact who Q is. But I see Sarah's point. I don't, like I said, I don't know if I agree with it. But
Do you have a guess?
I really don't at this point. I might hazard a guess after we've seen all 6 episodes, because the problem with docuseries like this is you can manipulate the footage you get to make it seem like anybody is something, and then do a twist at the end and reveal it's not them. So from that standpoint, I don't know what the documentary maker is doing per se, if he's trying to sway an opinion one way or another about Jim or Ron or Frederick. Maybe Frederick is Q and they're trying to throw him off the trail, but making you think he's not.
No, I don't think Frederick's Q.
I don't think Frederick's Q either. I'm just saying that could be the entire point of the documentary for all we know. That's why I'm gonna take everything with a grain of salt in docuseries like this. They should be fun. They should be informative, and this episode is certainly informative. But you're still trying to. The documentary maker is still trying to guide you to a specific destination.
Well, yeah, they're trying to find out who Q is. But also, this episode, I feel like it was a little more technical and a little more boring than the first episode.
It was a lot less entertainment and a lot more information. So that's going to appeal to some other people more. From my standpoint, wasn't as funny. Definitely wasn't as funny. But if I'm trying to sit down and watch a docuseries, I really am not looking for humor. I'm looking for the information. So this is more what I would be looking for in a series like this. The first episode was very much like Tiger King. This was more like an actual documentary.
Tiger King is still the best documentary ever.
No comment.
It's so funny. I laughed. I couldn't stop watching it.
But anyway,
yeah. So we want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is Q? What do you guys think about? And don't tell. Well, yeah, I guess if you've watched the whole series and you know more than us, because we're still on episode. Well, we're only talking about episode 2. We just watched episode 3 tonight too, which we'll touch on in the next episode of I Watched It With My Wife, documentary edition.
Woo!
But yeah, tell us what you guys think about all of this. Like, do you have theories on this? I have a pretty strong theory, and it could just be that the documentary is leading my thinking this way. But I have my reasons why I believe what I believe. But that's just me. Jeremy, do you have any guesses on who might be Q? Or
I told you I'm going to wait until we get through all 6 episodes, and then I'll tell you something, because this could be setting us up for a curveball, as I said. So who knows?
Yeah, but I want your guesses each episode. It'd be more fun.
I honestly don't know right now.
I think it's the potheads from Providence that we'll talk about in the next episode.
They are definitely not cute. But that'll do it for this episode of I Watched It With My Wife documentary edition. We'll see you next week with the potheads from Providence. Goodbye.